All right, Ghoul welcome to Dial Down, a segment where I invite one of our guests back to the show just to see what they've been up to in their lives and what they have planned in their supernatural communities. So, welcome back to this show, Cindy Ross.
Hey, how are you?
I've been good. I've been good. Just prepping for Ghoul Radio 3.
Cool. I've been noticing you look good.
Thank you. So, what have you been up to, Cindy Ross? How's your life?
Well, I work as a psychic medium. I do readings on a regular basis. I work with the paranormal. That's kind of a side of what I do, working with those who've passed on. So I really like to bridge the gap between the dead and the living. So I like to think that I'm an interpreter for the dead.
Yes. Cindy Ross was part of season 2, episode 4, the Dallas episode. She's from Louisville, Texas. And if you guys have heard the episode, that's where Cindy Ross is from. And I've noticed you've been posting tarot readings. Has anything interesting happened? If you want to share that with our listeners.
Doing tarot readings is you're working as a counselor. So you talk about hearing it all. You're working with a person's energy, and everybody has problems, everybody has issues, everybody wants to know answers. So I do that on a regular basis. Actually, in Grapevine, Texas, there's a cute little crystal shop on Main Street in historic Grapevine. And I do readings there live and in person on Saturdays. So, we hear all kinds of things. Usually my readings lead to full-time clients, and you want to weave that with the paranormal. A lot of these clients do have issues, and this year in particular has been a big year for house clearings. So that's one of the most interesting things that I've stumbled across, just doing my readings for my clients, and they find out what else I do. And all we're trying to do really is bridge the gap between those that are not of this world, that really need to move on and haven't, and those that are living. So it's been a fun ride.
Sounds really interesting. Do you do virtual reads? And if you do, how does that work?
Virtual reads, I can do that through FaceTime. That's usually how most of my clients do it, because I do have clients all over the US and abroad. So FaceTime works wonderfully. We also do it through Messenger, and you can do it through Zoom. So, but the most fun part is if you can be in person. That way you can touch cards, you can put your energy on the cards, and get the up close and personal. But certainly if we do virtual, it works lovely as well.
I think I'd be up for one.
Well, you've got some interesting things coming up for you, and I'm just sitting here looking at my card.
Really? Wow.
So
could you share a couple of things?
Opening up is what I see here with the Hermit card. So the Hermit card's always talking about a new path going in for you, and there's something about things are really going to even out for you, and a lot of calmness and wonderful energy moving in for you with a new season. Okay, there's a lot of cooperation and financial security coming in for you as well.
Man, that's great. Thank you so much for that. So what do you have planned for October, Cynthia?
October is going to be fun. Working as a psychic medium, number one, they all want to do parties. Okay. They think it's fun. It's Halloween. Here, we'll get the psychic come in and we'll do readings for everybody. That's really started moving me up the ladder. But then there's always the graveyard tour. That's one of our number one tours. Is we get over into one of the oldest cemeteries in Denton County that goes back to the 1860s. So I like to put my clients, my guests up front with those of the departed and their final resting place. So we have our celebrity ghost in Smith Cemetery. It's always fun. One of the best stories I have to tell you, though, the cemetery is named for the Smith family. All right, so the first grave there goes back to 1862, and for us in Texas, that's pretty old. Okay, so 1862. This was a young gentleman. He was probably, well, he was 20 years old. Okay. So we get our EVPs, we get our voice recordings. Our favorite tool of the ghost tours are the dowsing rods. Okay. The dowsing rods are really good for yes and no questions. They point where the energy is. So if you get that feeling that you've got something behind you, it can definitely show you that. Now, in the past year, we did have some young girls around the Smith plot, the Smith Cemetery. And this young man, like I said, he was about 20 years old. And from what I've deducted from a psychic level, he was thrown from a horse. He hit his head and died of a concussion because of the accident. Well, he's pretty young, okay? 20's not, very old. So we had these cute little young girls, blonde, long hair, real pretty, and they're talking to him, all right? And he's answering through the voice recorder and the EMF meters, okay? Our spirits can manipulate the meters, and you can get yes and no answers through the meters, all right? Well, my number one rule is nobody goes home with anything, okay? Spirits stay where they are. You don't bring them home. That's my rule. If you do, I find out about it, and they get in trouble, and I move my spirits on, all right? They've crossed the line, so they can't. I don't like it when they do that. I've only had to clean up a couple of messes that way. But these two little girls, they were high school age. They were there with their mother. And I go and I circulate through the graveyard, and I see how everybody's doing, because they're talking to the spirits, they're making connections, they're taking lots of photographs, getting the orbs and the unexplainable in their photos. We get tons of those out there. But this mother came over and she says, "So Cindy, we have a problem." I said, "Oh, what's the problem?" "Well, the voice recorder says that he's going to go home with us." And I went, "Oh, really? Oh, no, that's not allowed." And so the mother's real agitated. So I go over, and I've got all these people around the gravesite of this young man. And EMF meters are going off, voice recorders in the EVPs. You can hear, real stern voices. And I walk over and I told the little girls, I said, "Okay, you have to tell him goodbye. All right. And I want you to walk out the front gate with your mother, leave your tools here, and I'll take care of it, okay?" So the mother's a little agitated still, and the girls are okay, and they're telling him goodbye with the dowsing rods. And I have to get up close and personal with my spirit. And I have to tell him, this is not allowed. If you do not stop right now, you will not get to come back and play next year. I mean, I was really stern. And it was so fun because I have other people and they've got their meters going and they're just nonstop lights and and the voice recorders, everything went dead silent. I said, okay, all right. So I guess you get to come back next year and you get to play. So you have to whip them into shape. You know, we can't allow this this unnerving energy. So he decided to be nice, and I didn't have any complaints out of the mother and the two little girls.
Wow, you showed them who's boss.
Well, you have to. You know, they do like to play, and you know it can be unnerving to a lot of people that don't understand the energy and how to work with it. So but it's still fun. I enjoy working with those and helping those that need to cross over and get their point across. The majority of times that I've run into, even though I get a call and the cabinet doors are opening and closing at 3 o'clock in the morning and things are falling out and we don't know why. I walk into a situation and it's just, I have a spirit that's upset. I have a spirit that's angry. Either they're doing something different with the home, they're making changes, and the spirit still feels like they have possession of the home. They still feel like it's theirs. And I have to work with the spirit. I have to work with the homeowner and let them know, okay, this is the situation. The spirit still thinks they live here.
Yeah.
So, we've got to come to a balance here. So it can be fun. It can be, some of them are naughty, and you really have to put them in the place. So it is showing power, because I have ground rules. You cross the rule with me, I will send you on, and they know it.
That's good that you have that kind of control over them, for sure. The last question would be, what do you have planned for Ghost Gateway tours
Yeah,
for this October?
this is season. We're going to amp it up. We'll probably be busy every weekend in October, starting the last weekend in September as well. Um, we do our official big tour of the year. We partner with LaRue Winery, which is just a stone throw from Smith Cemetery. So they love when we come in, so they can kind of work on their courage before we get them to the cemetery. Have
Yeah,
a
that
few
liquid courage.
wine. It's wonderful. They distill it there in Old Town Louisville. They have a wonderful red that they put in the bourbon barrels. But anyway, wonderful wines, very chic boutique winery. And so we stop there first. They work on their courage. I do readings for them before they go into the graveyard, and they love that as well. It really amps up the Halloween season. So that is our spotlight tour. Halloween, I believe, is on Friday this year, isn't it? So that is our spotlight tour of the season. We also have the Ghost Girl tour, which we will be doing. That's Old Town Louisville. And we have full apparitions. So I tell people that, oh, yeah, right. And then when it happens, it's fun. So, yes, we will be in full force in Old Town Louisville. We will also be in Grapevine, Texas this season, which they date back as old as Louisville. So this is what's called part of Halford's Prairie, some of the oldest settlements in Texas.
Very historic, for sure. I just want to say thank you, Cindy Ross, for this. Hopefully I can make it this year.
We'd love to.
I really want to visit that place.
Oh, you would be impressed.
I also was thinking, I don't know if this sounds scary, crazy, but I was actually really thinking of playing the spirit board there.
Oh, that would be fabulous. They do love to talk in Old Town Louisville. I have a good working partnership with my spirits.
Nice. Perfect. Well, thank you so much, Cindy Ross and Gouliax. Remember to visit her socials and everything. And hopefully we could do this again, Cindy Ross. I'll be in touch.
All right.
You take care of yourself.
You too.
All right. Bye.
See ya.